Welcome back to Sunday League Moments, where we follow AC Plymouth doing their normal Sunday League sort of thing. That's what the series is about. Today at home to Activate. Last time they played Activate, which was this season, they lost 5-3, and there were plenty of goals obviously, and plenty of cards too. So if you haven't seen that video, check out the link in the top right corner. But this is today, AC at home on their own turf at Plympton. This is the last scheduled game of 2016. So, team lineup time. In between the sticks, as always, it's Coops. Back four today of Nick, Bernie, Samip and Courtney. Midfield, Callum on the right, Will on the left, Sherritt and Fraser in the middle, and then up top it's Gabe, and long time no see, it's Jamie. Substitutes of Finn, Jake, Tom, Alex and George. So with all that said and done, it's time. Early stages of the game here, Activate throw-in from number 2. Courtney stabs up in towards the air, but it comes back down, and number 11 can get the ball inside to number 12, who lays it off to 17, who shoots. Oh dear. So bad, it's not even out for a throw. Burnley actually made it and cleared it. 14 here looking comfortable for Activate at the back as he gives it back to his goalkeeper, but he wasn't expecting that, as the bobble makes him slice it up into the air and 2 is forced to head it out for a throw-in. Jamie takes that throw-in, looking for the run of Callum, but he ducks underneath it. Finds Sherritt, who gets the ball down, evades one challenge, shoots on the turn, and the keeper's forced to save and then collect before Fraser can run in. Ball with the Activate defender, who goes long. Courtney heads it in the right direction, and then Fraser can tangle with their midfielder. You don't really see it as my cam works shoddy, but he plays it up to Jamie. Jamie gives it to Will. Will cuts inside of his man, puts a lovely ball over the top, but the keeper looks to have this comfortably. Penalty for AC. Keeper brought down Gabe as he ran in, even though the defender sliced it into his own net. And so with Alex on the bench, it will be Gabe who steps up, right-footed, high past the goalkeeper into the back of the net, and that's 1-0 to AC. And so it's Activate, who are 1-0 down, trying to show how much they are better at football than AC, as Sherritt gives the ball to Fraser. Fraser tries to find Jamie, but it's cut out and Activate can play the ball forwards up towards number 11. Samit looks to have the ball under control, not that you can see because of my shoddy camera work, but 11 manages to make it round him. And he's got pace and strength over Courtney as he squares it across to 17. Oh. And that ball is in fact the first orbital spacecraft ever sent up from a UK launch site. Welcome to Plympton, Plympton International Space Centre. Right, my lover, it's Plympton here. Would you please repeat that? Right, Plympton, we've got a problem up here. Meanwhile on Earth, it's Callum, workhorse in midfield. Gives it to Jamie, who panners his man, and then goes to run round the outside of number 6, but 6 has 12 covering, who slides in, gets it away from Jamie, and then slides in again to keep the ball in, but only gives it to Fraser. Fraser looks to find his man in the middle, but he can't find anyone, and Activate can come at AC now. Ball's looking over the top for number 11, who's held his run. Coops doesn't come off of his line, and out of nowhere, Bernie slides in, leadily King on Iron Robin-esque, to clear it behind for a corner. The corner is taken by number 8, stood on the footpath, in towards the area, headed away, bicycle kick goes in, and it's headed behind for a corner. The corner for Activate this time, chasing the goal, is taken on that far side. 2 wins his header, Coops saves, 10 looks to follow up, Callum and Coops save again, and then Callum gets rid of it. AC survive another attack. Activate still putting pressure on though, as my camera works all over the show, and there is the moment where Sherritt headed it into his own net. Unfortunate one. He had 2 men behind him, so he had to make it. Tried to flick it behind for a corner, flicked it into his own net, and it's not on camera. So that's quite fortunate, or perhaps unfortunate. Perhaps we'd have liked to have a laugh at it. Unlucky Sherritt. This is the best clip I could find to sort of replicate it, or compare it to. Johnny Walters for Stoke versus Chelsea, sort of just heading it past his own keeper into the back of the net. Nothing Coops could have done.
Come on, gotta make sure we get it to a man.
Ooh, the mud.
Careful with the mud.
Sherritt, think so.
I didn't see it.
Alright. He went to flick it one way and it just came off the outside of his head. Switching up the midfield now as Tom and Finn go on for Callum and Sherritt.
Sherritt. Unlucky Sherritt.
Now continued pressure from Activate as the ball goes in this time, and the header beats Tom on the line and it's into the back of the net. If we slow this down, we can see that the corner is actually headed away from goal, but it hits 17 in the face and then goes into the back of the net. And suddenly it's 2-1 to Activate. Corner for Activate again on that far side. 3 makes it, Coop saves, ball bobbles all over the place and it's eventually cleared as Tom stuffs the ball out of play. I thought I'd take the time to sort of explain something I've been doing in this series. I've been commentating and thoughtlessly naming players we're playing against. There you could see number 5, that's Activate's number 5. Jacob, as Courtney volleys the ball up to Jamie, and Jamie does Jacob there with a nutmeg. Jacob's a lad who used to play for AC and knows all of the squad from either secondary school, primary school or both. Enough of a history lesson as Will gets subbed off and it's top scorer Alex who goes on. And so ball is with AC trying to start an attack, but Activate win the ball back in the middle of the park. He's got legs on Tom as the ball's played in. Coops is off of his line as he holds up 16. 16 tries to dance around him. 8 shoots. Summit blocks on the line and it's cleared out as far as 16 again. Battling with Alex. Plays the ball back to number 2. 2 looks up. Plays the ball forwards. Don't see. Glare of the sun's horrendous and I'm really not sure where the ball is. It's on that far side. Is it? Yeah, as the cross goes in, and it's 8 who cushions his volley. Cushions it too much, actually. Goal kick.
Up 6 times. Keep going, Courtney. Oh, fucking hell.
Last action and a half here as an Activate corner from this near side goes in. Headed away, and then quite literally the last action of this first half. Not even allowed to pick the ball up, even though the ball fell to the Activate man. And it's 2-1 at half time. AC proving that despite Activate being a very good side, 3rd in the league, they can just keep on scoring against them. Maybe it's some knack or maybe it's just a style of play. Half-time subs, George and Nick on for Jamie and Courtney, which makes me think now that I missed Nick coming off for Jacob right back. Must have done. Bugger.
They won't have any players on this touchline, will they?
And so the ball's rolling with Activate. The ball's in the air with Tom who wins it, gives it to Fraser. Finn gives it inside to Tom, but Activate win the ball back. Jake, who I just mentioned, picks up the ball, but 16 wins it off of him and 15 wins it. Jake intercepts, but in turn lines up their striker. Their striker lays it off to another striker who runs round. Samip and Nick are beaten as the ball goes in and 2 players at the back stick can't convert. 12 crosses it back in, but it's headed away and the shot goes in and it's wide of goal. And that's a very lively start and a very shaky start to the second half, nearly 3-1. Activate coming forward again with Jacob, number 5, gives it to 12. 12 goes round Finn, trying to anyway, lays it off to 15. Jake holds him up well here as 15 tries to do him with his quick feet, but he lays it off back to Jacob. Jacob turns back, gives it only to Gabe. Gabe gives it to Fraser. Fraser off camera, absolutely clattered, but the ref plays advantage as Finn picks up the ball. Finn pings a lovely ball over the top looking for George, who cushions it over the top in towards Gabe, who dinks it over the goalkeeper, and that's 2-2. AC fighting back and getting on the score sheet again. Great ball by Finn, great ball by George, great finish by Gabe, and credit to the ref for playing advantage. And here we have a situation where Gabe suddenly realises he hasn't got his shin pads on after being clattered by the goalkeeper. He scored 2 goals and it's well into the second half now. No shin pads. Welcome to Sunday League. Activate looked rattled and AC can start to get a foothold of the game as Alex throws it into Gabe. Gabe gives it to Finn. Lovely Cruyff turn away from 2 men. Gives it into Fraser. Fraser sees the run of George. George is in on goal now. He shoots. Keeper saves it with his feet and then it's cleared off the line, but you don't really see it because of the camera work and because of people in the way. Very close to 3-2. But it is Activate who are chasing the game, and because of their place in the league, anything other than a win they treat as a defeat, as Coops claims that cross down low. And Coops isn't really famed for his distribution. So watch this as he eventually drop kicks it. Pinpoint for Fraser, who can knock it down for Jake. Lovely. And What don't really make these highlights are the centre halves and the fullbacks and the midfielders pumping every ball which comes at them back up the other end and defending well, because there's not really any clear chance or a clear shot as the ball goes over the top this time and Coops claims it, and that's the best we can get. Bernie, Samip, Jake, Nick, all of his midfielders were playing very well this game, but they're just nothing which counts as a highlight. But it is Activate who still have the momentum in this game. Samip doesn't deal with that, but Coops does, coming off of his line. Then Nick doesn't hear the shout of man on, and the striker can easily win it back off of him as he dinks the ball over the top. Samip can't beat, I think that's 8 to the ball as the ball goes across. 15 shoots, Coops saves well with his feet, and the ball goes back in. Tom clears it. Ball goes back in. Bernie heads up rather than out, but I think it's given us offside. And straight after that, it's Fraser who goes off for Callum and Will who goes on up top for Gabe. No recognised strikers. Will, George, Finn and Alex can all sort of rotate their midfield and striking positions. Ball with Activate again though, but it's cut out by Bernie that time. Finn's beaten to the ball by 16. 16 plays it to 15 who slices his shot well wide. AC now happy to concede free kicks from a long way out, but number 3 here reckons he can score as he shoots over the wall, but wide of Coops' goal.
Not too casual.
Don't kick out, that's fine.
Ball in the middle of the park here. Callum's not backing out of this tackle. Completely takes out number 15, but Activate still come forward with the ball. Number 16 is on Jake as he cuts inside, puts the cross in, but Coops can easily claim. Free kick from deep from Activate, headed away. Callum is chasing number 6, that's Reedon. We went secondary school with him and all. But as Reedon keeps the ball in, then Callum can eventually clear. And here's Callum not backing out of another tackle, that's great. Full on flying. Activate coming forward again, number 15. But Callum wins the ball very well and gets it up the field towards Finn. Finn, who's now up top, switching roles, like I said earlier. Tries to beat 14 for pace, but 14 slides in. Only gives it to Will, who sees the keeper off of his line, goes to dink it, but hits it wide.
Keep chasing, George.
Well done, George. Brilliant challenge.
Activate throwing from this near side, sent up towards number 12, but Tom's on his case. Finn wins the ball, and then the Activate player pushes him, trying to win the ball back, and that's good news for the defenders, as it's a free kick. And it's a chance for a bit of respite, bit of a breather. So the free kick is just inside Activate's half. Jake looks to punt the ball forward, and he does. Everyone misses it, and it falls to Alex.
Go on.
Yes! Come on!
Who could have seen this coming? AC 3-2 up against Activate. They took the lead earlier on in the game. Now they've taken the lead again. Alex with his 4th goal of the season.
Chase, George.
Well done, George. Brilliant challenge.
Great tackle.
Free kick from deep from Activate again. 2 free men at the back stick as 17 heads over Coops' bar. Activate is certainly getting closer. Callum heavily involved in the highlights this second half as he tries to win the ball back here. And that's an absolutely horrible challenge there. Good job he doesn't get the man, else it's almost certainly a booking as 17 cuts inside of Jake and Callum. Plays it up towards 16, I think that is. 16 comes inside, tries to give it to 17, but Tom then clears his lines. George here chasing the goalkeeper who has the ball. He hasn't stopped running since going on up top as the ball's nodded over by the Activate man who skips away from Finn. 16 playing well in midfield for Activate, to be fair, as the ball goes in. Samit misses it. Jake doesn't, however. He clears his lines only as far as 5. 5 gives it to 16. Cushioned ball up towards his striker. Striker makes his way into the box, but it's cleared behind. Loose ball here from that long throw-in, which Finn loses out to with 14, and then does well to challenge him and win a corner. The corner is sent in from this near side. Nick heads it behind for another corner. Corner is sent in again. Bernie heads this one over the bar for another corner. Corner is sent in again. Diving header from the Activate man goes wide of Coops' goal, who slows down, lets the Activate player fetch the ball for him, trying to wind down the clock. 3 minutes to go as Coops takes this goal kick up towards Will on halfway. Only gives it to 15. 15 up in the air. Not goalkeeper's territory, not defender's territory. 11 heads. Coops saves. Shot goes in. Bernie saves on the line, only as far as their striker, who nods it down and the shot goes in. Number 16 it was, who had the initial shot which Bernie blocked off the line, heading it down towards number 11. If you look in slow motion, you could have called it as just offside, but it all happened so quickly, it's very hard to tell. Either way, it's 3-3. Activate have done well to draw level. Frustrating for AC to let in a goal, especially of all the chances they've had, that one, as Finn here turns away from his man and gives it to 16. Why have I just told Callum 16? Frustrating for AC to give away a goal, and of all the chances they conceded, it's that one, as Finn turns away from his man and gives it to Callum. Callum up the line to Jamie, who's just come on as a late sub, as AC looked to try and perhaps win the game. That would be very ambitious, as 17 wins the ball back, skips inside of Callum and switches the play all the way onto that far side. AC men are jogging back at this moment as a cross goes in, but Samet deals with it. Or is there one last chance for Activate? Surely they couldn't come from behind and score too late on, as Fife plays the ball through, but Samet wins the ball again. All the defenders have been absolute rocks despite the 3 goals conceded, as Fife plays the ball through again, but the Activate man is called as offside. Samet then takes that free kick, and then...
Well played, AC!
AC get their first point of the season, 3-3 against a very tough opposition in third in the league, Activate Youth. Unfortunate to actually draw and not win in the end, but you couldn't really say that Activate didn't deserve any sort of result, even though they might look at this result as a defeat. And so that's AC's last game of 2016, and it's their first point since the last game of the 15-16 season. Obviously their next scheduled game will be in the new year 2017, but until all the pitches are playable again, we don't know when that will be. So until then, whenever then is, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.